All right, welcome to Pro Mandarin. Does it sound a little weird to you if I say, I flour $3 or I flour 3 minutes on my homework? Well, of course it does, because that's not English. But you can do that in Chinese and it'll make perfect sense. Now today, I'm going to show you how. But first, you're probably wondering, can I learn all this Chinese in one lesson? Well, let's find out. All right, for the first word today, we're going to start off with hua, which means flour. Now, it also means to spend or to take, as in to take a certain amount of time or to spend a certain amount of time. Also to spend a certain amount of money. And we're going to look at another word, yong, which means to use, which also could be meaning to spend or to take a certain amount of time. But it's not used the same way when you're talking about money. So now today we're specifically going to be talking about time, how long something takes. Now the first character up in the left is going to be zhe. Zhe means this, these, or here, but today it's only going to mean this. Then the next word is na, which means that, those, and there, but today it's only going to mean that. The way to do that is by adding ge right after it. So 这个 means this, and 那个 means that. Now for the next character below, it's going to be ni, which means you. And then we're going to have 修车, which means to fix or to repair a vehicle. Now, 修 is to fix or repair, and 车 could be any kind of vehicle. It could be a car, a truck, a bus. It doesn't really matter. It just means vehicle. And then the last word or phrase that we have here is going to be 你的作业. 你的 means your or yours, and 作业 means homework. Now, for the next column, we're going to have some modal verbs, which the first one is going to be 要, which means wanna or gonna. And then the next one is 需要, which means to need to. And then 能 means can, as being able to, which in this case, it's also going to be very similar to the word 要, just for this instance. I don't hear it as much as 要 in this particular case, but sometimes I've heard it as well. All right, so in the last column, we're going to have 多长时间, whereas 多长 means how long and 时间 means time. So 多长时间 means how long time or how much time. So that's what we're actually trying to say today. How long these different things are going to take, or how long do these things need to take, or how long can they take. All right. And then the other way to say 多长时间 is 多久. It also means how long. All right, I'm going to start off with a couple examples here before I get you in some practice. The first example, we're going to use the word 用. For to take or to spend or to use, in this case, is what it actually means. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, how long are you going to take? Or how much time are you going to use? So how you'd say that is, 你要用多长时间? 你要用多长时间? Now in this next example, we're going to use 花 and we're going to use 多久 instead of 多长时间. But you can use either one, so it really doesn't matter. So how you would say, how long does this need to take? You would say, 这个需要花多久? 这个需要花多久? All right, cool. So as with all my videos, whenever we go over any practice questions, I do give you a little bit of time after I ask you the question. However, if you do need a little extra time, go ahead and pause the video if you need that little extra time. So how would you say, how long can it take to repair this vehicle? Now, if you get a different answer for the last two columns than me, that's perfectly fine. Just get in the habit of being able to mix and match it up, and then eventually you'll feel comfortable with the way that you actually want to use it. Whether you use 花 or 用, or you use 多长时间 or 多久. So how would you say that? How long can it take to fix the vehicle? 修车能用多长时间? 修车能用多长时间? Now, how would you say, how long is that gonna take? 那个要花多久? 那个要花多久? All right, let's do another couple questions before we move on to the next section. So how would you say, how long is your homework gonna take? 你的作业要花多长时间? 你的作业要花多长时间? All right, how would you say, how long can that take? 那个能花多长时间? 那个能花多长时间? All right, now before we move on to the next section, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you 2 questions, and then you can answer them in the comments below, either in Chinese characters or pinyin with or without tones. And what I'm going to do to make sure that you can be able to understand how to answer this question is I'm going to give you another short phrase, which is 做作业, which means to do homework. So in other words, to say do your homework, you could say 做你的作业. Now, how this works is if you're going to ask someone how long it's going to take them to do something, then you say 你要花多长时间, and then you say what it is that they're going to do, as in to do homework. So how would you say that? How long is it going to take you to do homework? And of course, again, you can either use 花 or 用 in that column, or 多长时间 or 多久 in the last column. And then the last question before we move on is how long are you going to take to fix the vehicle? So see if you can figure out how to say that. All right, make sure that you write that in the comments below. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next section. But before we do that, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me out so I can continue to make quality content like this video. All right, now back to the lesson. All right, so we're going to change things up just a little bit here. We're going to take out 你 and 你的作业 in the left column, and we're going to replace it with 我, which means I or me, and we're going to keep 修车 the same, to fix or to repair a vehicle, and then we're going to have 我的作业, which means my homework, and then we're going to keep the middle 2 columns the same, and in order to answer the question how long it's going to take, instead we're going to actually say how long it is going to take. So the first one is going to be 5秒钟. 5 is 5 and 秒钟is seconds. So 5秒钟, 5 seconds. And then we have 10分钟. 10 is 10 and 分钟 is minutes. So 10分钟 is 10 minutes. And then the last time frame is going to be 3个小时. So 3个 is 3 when you're counting things. So 3 by itself is 3. And then 个 is a measuring word for hours. And then 小时 is hours. So whenever you're talking about hours, you're always going to put the 个 right before 小时, and then you're going to put the number just before that. So if it was 10 hours, you'd say 10个小时, or if it was 1 hour, it would be 1个小时. For right now, though, we're going to use 3个小时. So how would you say this is going to take 10 minutes? And we're going to use 花 on this one. 这个要花10分钟. 这个要花10分钟. Now, how would you say it's going to take me 3 hours? And we're going to use 用 on this one. 我需要用3个小时. 我需要用3个小时. All right, now how would you say it can take 3 hours to fix this vehicle? Now we're going to use 花 for this one. 修车能花3个小时. 修车能花3个小时. Now, alternatively, the more common way to say it would be 修车要花3个小时. So if you were to ask, like, how long is it gonna take, then usually you're going to use 要. So 修车要花3个小时. 修车要花3个小时. And then alternatively, you can also use 用 instead. So you could say 修车要用3个小时. 修车要用3个小时. Now to help you on the next one, I'm going to add in one word, 而已, which means only, as in I only need to take 10 minutes or I only need to take 5 seconds. Where you put 而已 is at the very end of the sentence. So 我需要花 however much time and then 而已. So then how would you say I only need to spend 5 seconds? 我需要花5秒钟而已. 我需要花5秒钟而已. So again, 而已 means only. I need to spend 5 seconds only. All right, to wrap up today's lesson, I'm going to give you 3 more questions that you can write your answers in the comments below. But in order to do that, I'm going to first give you a few new pieces of vocabulary and one last little addition to the sentence structure. So the first piece of vocabulary is going to be 6天, which means 6 days, 来, which has a few different meanings. But in this case, it means in order to. And then I put it in parentheses as well, so that way you know that sometimes they do leave it off as well. And then there's going to be 做作业, which means to do homework, such as 做我的作业, to do my homework, or 做你的作业, to do your homework, or just 做作业, to do homework. And then there's going to be 做饭, which means to make food. All right, now for the questions, the first one's going to be, it's going to take me 3 hours to do my homework. All right, and then the second one is, I'm going to need 6 days to fix the vehicle. And then the last one is, I'm going to need to take 10 minutes to make food. So how would you say that? Again, you can put in lie or leave lie off, but go ahead and practice using both and then focus on when you notice Chinese people actually using it and when they don't. And then you'll get more familiar with when to use it. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and haven't 点赞 or 订阅 yet, please do so now. Or in other words, please like and subscribe. Also, if you like this video and you feel you need more practice, feel free to rewatch this video as many times as you need. And if you feel ready to move on, then check out the other videos on this channel as well. I promise you'll be speaking Mandarin fluently in no time. And until next time, 下次见.